So hi. So today the main topic is actually how do I'm a front end engineer, and how do I really design those kind of like chat chatbot. Um, the the making chatbot was kind of um, it was not really easy because the chatbot we known as when we look at the like really good chatbot like ChatGPT, like Cursor, whatever stuff. If if I ask something, if I ask into that chatbot, it doesn't really shows the text instantly. It shows instantly, but it doesn't show like whole 100 text in just the one first, like one time. It it gives us some like the typing right the text like streaming into user's view, um, but but the thing I observed like using ChatGPT was there's huge performance issue of it. Um, if you're My goal is if I make trying to make a chatbot and my chatbot like ChatGPT is really being widely using. It's not like 60 years old, 70 years old, and 50 years old, and people 40 years old people. They're old people. They're trying to using it, and they tend to have really like old laptop. And I think the ChatGPT is kind of slow when there's some kind of streaming happening. The reason why it is slow is it's just my guess. We front end engineer we use React, which is kind of library JavaScript library or framework for it. The streaming thing is in making it as a re-renders, because it is streaming and there's a state, and it when this text is like rapidly changing or rapidly increasing, rapidly like streaming, it has to show in the view, and if it's showing the view, it has to be this browser has to be really quickly to render the page so that the user won't feel uncomfortable, and also and yeah, and you have to think about re-renders in the React, but you also think about those kind of the component life cycle of it. And I found that this is kind of really too much. Even why do I have my question was why do we have to stick around the React boilerplate to show this streaming text? If I use SSE, it's already and it's already event buffer of it. You don't have it's already sliced into text, like this is already gonna be sliced, but streaming in the client is basically okay. I received the bunch of like words, and I have to slice into some kind of really small character that I can show into text type right effect. And since this requires some kind of logic and boilerplate and reconciliation on this web page, this leads to the performance issue of it. So what I did was I didn't really rely on direct buffer logic. I used the event logic. So what do you mean event? In this, there's a custom event. So there's a code as custom event that I can send the event. So most of when we think about web page, like clicking this button is also event. Like even scrolling this thing is also event. But what I did but you can just make your custom event rather than traditional event. You can just send some kind of data to the using custom event API. But my question was, since when I just streaming, because the common issue was if I got streamed and if I trying to set state while this text is streaming, the set state isn't really parallel, because set state is really actually the function that it's really a function. So let me just try to give you an example of it. I think this code is kind of really big example of this. Yeah, I think this is really kind of big example of the why. This is kind of really bad. Here, hold on. I'm just gonna screenshot this. Pretty nice. So yeah, I don't know you guys can see this or not. Let me just zoom more. So this set state, we tend to think about like React state as synchronous, but actually React state is asynchronous. We also means that it doesn't really treat as normal functions. If you call a normal function, it will put into stack and core stack. But this React is actually not synchronous, so it doesn't go to the stack. It doesn't really execute stack immediately. It goes the event loop, and it goes it when it done, and when it sees the when the stack is empty, it goes to the stack and it executes it. So the problem is that, okay, let's see this part. If I send, okay, there's a set state. Even though you put the set state on the text, example, if you're trying to send a text on this set stream state text here, there's gonna be some issue that you're first of all, it's not really predictable, and second, this set state and is actually the functions of it. Set state is function, and when it's finished, oh wait, hold on. Oh wait, sorry. Let's make it like this. So let's do it. So this part is gonna go to the async. So if it's like event loop here, so let's say this is first one, and let's dive into it. So this is asynchronous, we put under this part, and next, and we will be has to be put this on to the stack. So these two, it doesn't go to the one, it goes to the two, and after that we execute two, and there's a two event loop, because the reason why I separate the event loop is because the fetch, the API has more priority on that normal async promise based. So when it's done, we put the two on the event loop, so we have to go to the one to the synchronous. So we fire this, we are able to fire this first, and it's done. And next, wait, this is really, come on, wait. So next we already find out that we execute this part, and now this is also callback, and we have to put this on the queue. Let's say this is 3, so we put 3, and this is 4, and when we pop it, when we pop it 3, 4, So when you pop it, so this 3 and this 3 part. Wait, hold on. Oh, this is kind of hard. No, this goes first. 3, 4, and 3. The NQCB is actually a function, so we don't have to care about it. And next thing is the set state. So those kind of set stream is actually like 5 here. So we go in asynchronous here, and this set state actually oh yeah, actually the function that they changed this part. The reason why this is kind of really hard is because you have to think about the closure of it. Here's example. Your set state actually changing this part, but this is kind of really kind of bad because this look at the original state and it captured the current scope, and it captured it and it manipulates it after this set state fires. So those kind of boilerplate is making us and making me really confused. So we're not gonna put some set state on logic on putting the stream text. So what I did was, this is just I put only the status of it, but if it's like that requires storing some kind of stream text, I made the stream message event. So stream message event is basically I make custom event that, and I can dispatch whatever I want. So dispatch means that I already sense my custom data on this event, so that I can just receive this streaming event because this is already global, so we can just put into listen logic of it. So example, look at here. I created the message event, my custom event, and I put the send stream message event as a callback. So every time text string is fires and text is appended, the event is gonna be fired, event dispatch is being got fires. So what I have to do is I just have to run these functions on the message stream part. So basically when you're streaming Ghost, and this UI is doing parallel thing, because we don't really show the stream text after this text is done, after stream is done. We don't do that. So if you look at my code here, like let's first streaming message part. This code is really messy, but whatever. We basically receive message event, and this also means that we receive message event, and we know we can fire it. So this is actually the callback function, is what to do with the event. So once you sense your event that manipulates your data from the stream text, we can just do whatever business logic in this part, and after that we can just clean it, and we can just put the text queue on the QRef, and when we after we put the queue text queue, we can just manipulate via using boilerplate of React hooks, because we want to make it instant. After parallel is done, If the part is still going, we can just make this as a view, the UI view that, and user doesn't think that there's kind of postpone on it. So this is how we did. And also we integrate the iframe that to reduce the performance issue, because iframe takes different render process rather than this website. So example, if I click the send button and there's a new pop-up that stream data, like the streaming messages. Since the stream message requires some kind of heavy syntax and re-renders, and we didn't put the React hooks or React boilerplate to stream the text. We just rely on the just browser native custom event. And moreover, even rendering this kind of message, we didn't put into one single page, one web page. When we streaming, we put iframe, but that looks like this message, but inside that this is iframe, and after iframe is done, we can just put into our origin message, because if this iframe is still going, this rendering process is different, so there's more benefit of it because there's on main thread in the JavaScript. So I don't know if this is gonna be work or not, because there's some the server issue. Yeah, this doesn't work because the server issue of it. So I think this is it. Have a nice day. See you next time. Bye bye.